Pickaxe.
5, 4, 3, 2, live, Michelle.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 906 of the Video Game Outsiders podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Michelle Madison.
And I, of course, am your John Jacobson. All right, it's just you and I right now.
Right now, but in about an hour.
Right now.
Yes, PSVR Frank is going to join us, but he's not really PSVR Frank anymore. He's
No,
now the
he's
community
not.
manager at another Axiom. And so they do VR stuff. They did that Gorilla game you liked. They have a new game coming out.
I didn't
We're gonna
like
talk to
that
Frank
game.
in about an hour. Oh, you didn't like it? Well, you can tell Frank all about
Well,
it.
if you remember, we talked about it, but I
thought
was
you
too
liked it.
dumb. No. I couldn't
Oh.
figure out the movement. And then Matt
Okay.
had to tell me, because remember, his kid was playing it or something.
Yeah.
And,
all right. Well,
right?
you liked it. You were just too dumb for it. So that's not a big deal.
I think I was a bit too dumb for
Yeah,
it.
that's okay.
Yeah, but he also worked on Firewall 0 Hour, which
Yeah.
which they canceled. That game
So
was
yeah, it's not a
awesome.
VR show tonight, but in about an hour, we're going to talk to Frank. Maybe we'll get into some VR stuff and what they're doing over there. We've got a big show tonight, tons of games. I played a game I absolutely loved, but you know, the Night Rain trailer just came out, like the latest one just came out. There's some hype about that. Comes out Thursday,
Yeah.
and we're going to do a roundtable hopefully next week. If not, Ryan and I are going to play because he's going to come on, and we're giving away a copy in our Discord from cdkeys.com. You can save a few bucks on Elden Ring Night Rain right now if you want. It's from our sponsor CD Keys. Or you can win from us in our Discord. So head on down to videogameoutsiders.com. And if you support us in there, you get the 20-year back catalog. You get weekly bonus shows and a Discord-only podcast and extra entries to contests. And you could say hi to me and tell me that I suck because I hate Nintendo or whatever you guys want to tell me. But no.
Oh my God, that's
coming up.
It's next
know.
fucking week.
I know.
What? Huh?
You may
For
be doing
real?
an unboxing with me here on twitch.tv/John and Michelle.
Yeah,
on the
I don't know.
5th.
We'll see. We'll play it by
We'll
ear.
see if John has it. He has his knife ready because I know you guys are pumped for the Switch 2. Not getting one, obviously, myself.
Switch 2 is
Yep.
on the 5th, which is what, Thursday?
Yes.
Oh my God. I heard Walmart is canceling. Like here's a pro tip. This is what I read today. I don't know if it's true, but don't email
don't
Walmart.
say pro tip and then say I don't know if it's true.
Well,
It's
I don't
not
know.
A tip,
This
it's
is
not pro.
This is
if
a
you don't know if it's
potential.
true.
Okay, if you've got a Walmart pre-order, just shut up. Don't.
Oh.
People are contacting Walmart and saying, I need to change my address. I need to change this or change that. And they go, oh, canceled. And people are saying that maybe
So just keep your mouth shut. You don't talk.
keep-
What do you
just
you don't
keep your
talk.
fucking mouth shut.
We don't like rats. Here at
Don't
Walmart.
say
Keep
anything,
your mouth
all right?
shut.
Just sit in the
Just
corner,
go.
be quiet. Now watch.
Let's
I'm going to
go.
jinx myself.
Yeah, don't say anything. Some people have already gotten theirs. Apparently, Nintendo doesn't allow people to use them yet. That you can turn it on and off. CC Games is saying that's not good for ownership. He's actually speaking up against Nintendo in our Discord. Of course, Kevin, the Game Store guy, he's saying that if Nintendo can just turn it on or off, that kind of sucks. That it defeats the purpose of a physical console that needs to be connected to the internet. So we might get into that more in the news. But yeah, right now
there's
we
like
are
a
live.
day one update or something that you need to activate it and make it alive.
That's silly. Yeah,
Because like if I wanted to buy one and get on a plane, I'm screwed.
exactly. But you're still excited. You're excited about the idea of being excited for the Switch 2 and Mario Kart. So
I'm optimistic about Mario Kart. I think it might be fun. We'll see.
all right. Anyway, so we are
We'll
live
see.
right now on twitch.tv/John and Michelle. We do it every Tuesday from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern. If you miss it, like most of you guys do, we'd love to see more of you live. But if you miss it, you can listen anywhere podcasts are, including our app, including Discord, including Spotify, which we're trying to most of you guys don't use Spotify, weirdly enough. Like looking at the stats here for the past couple of months. Spotify, check it out. You can follow us
I
on
think
there.
it's kind of the
comment
best
on there.
way-
I love Spotify.
I used to use Google Podcasts and then they killed that.
Yeah.
So
we got a
for
lot
me,
of
it's
people
all about
using
Spotify.
Apple stuff. So I don't know. Go to Spotify, follow us over there, comment on us over there. So we're trying to grow over on Spotify.
Yeah, and what's
most
nice
of our
about
listeners don't use
Spotify
it.
too, I was going to say, if you have it on your PC, you can continue listening from your phone to the PC. Like keeps track of your, Is there an Apple
what are you
Podcast
jingling
app?
and jangling over there?
Is there an Apple Podcast app
You got
for
a
the PC?
banjo
I
or
don't-
something?
No, it's the bell. It's been here forever.
We don't put that stuff on our PC. I always refuse to put like iTunes on my PC. And so
Well, I
like
remember
Spotify.
back in the day when that came out. That was the best PC thing ever.
Yeah.
Besides like Winamp. Remember
No.
Winamp?
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on because I want to
You can listen to us on
stuff.
Winamp if you have that.
No, please don't. I want to talk about some stuff before Frank comes along here. And so it was another gaming week, John, where I didn't know what I was going to play. And all of a sudden something comes out that I kind of knew about, but I didn't really pay much attention to it. And I just ended up absolutely loving it. So the game is Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. And it is a dark King Arthur version of an Elder Scrolls game. But I left a big review on Steam and I sort of broke down why, for me, it's better than Elder Scrolls. I want to get into some of that. So,
really?
I really, really enjoyed myself. It's a 70-hour game. I've only been playing for 10 hours and I haven't even scratched the surface. But I love like the theme, I love the art, I love the presentation, but the actual combat is actually more interesting here because there is sort of a dash, which is like a dodge, and you can use it like there's a lot of speed, you dash fast and you use it like you would a dodge roll in like other combat games like this. So the combat's more refined. There is an execute. There is a block to parry where you can drain stamina. It's just like the combat feels more refined. I'm not saying it's perfect. Like it's not a little bit of jank because it's made by a small team. They're calling it Polish Skyrim. It's like a small team of Polish developers. And so, but the combat feels more refined. No, because, well, I mean, it does. People have been saying it feels like Dark Souls meets
Skyrim,
Witcher.
Isn't it?
No, Witcher's not Skyrim, I don't think. Skyrim is a completely different beast. I mean, you have these huge skill trees. You have everything you do levels up everything. So if you jump, you get, acrobatics. If you're climbing, you do this. Like the spell casting, you get that. Like, so it's got that kind of element where everything you do. And the crafting in it, like alchemy and upgrading your weapons and cooking, like all that stuff. It's very intuitive, feels much better than the Elder Scrolls games. So there's just a lot of stuff going on. But what I really love about it is the exploration where you start off in a prison, much like Oblivion, and you could spend either 2 minutes in that prison just running straight, beelining out. Is it beelining? Why is it always beelining?
Yeah,
I think I've asked you that.
Mm-hmm.
I think we looked that up. So you could, I think like a line would be like, I don't know, make more sense to me. But you could just dash out of the prison. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. Or you can spend like 2 hours in the prison and you can open every fucking cell.
So it is beeline, not because of the letter.
Letter B. It's because of what? A B? Like a bzz, because like.
Yes, because a B would make us would fly in a straight line.
Gotcha. Do they? Okay. Bees always look drunk to me. They're kind of
but meaning you're not concerned about the pathway, the sidewalk, the trees. You just go in a straight line.
Well, yeah, as the eagle flies or whatever. So if you can do this, you can beeline the fuck out of there, or you can just stop and smell the roses, okay? Because I spent like 2 hours in this damn prison just poking around, opening every cell, finding all this crazy lore. And by the way, did you see what I sent you? Like this book you can find in there? It's like really adult. And it's funny because it's King Arthur stuff. Can
we read some of that?
Yeah, you should read that. I sent you that little snippet.
I know. I'm looking for it.
Yeah, I think it's very important that this is an adult game. There's like smut on the walls and like nudity, but it's done in a way where it feels very like set for the world. Like you feel like you're in a dark King Arthur fantasy, and that's pretty much what you are in. So you have special powers. You're carrying a piece of King Arthur's soul. You can use his special powers. You can put down a bonfire to level up and to talk to King Arthur. And like the story is actually really good. You have the Red Death plague. It's probably been in the movies or the lore of King Arthur, the Red Death. I don't know. But you have the Red Death. There's no cure. They're experimenting on people. And for some reason you are like immune to it. And you know, that's when you're off to find like Excalibur and figure out why like you were immune. Were you giggling at did you find the excerpt?
Yeah. Here's a little Sir Osbert.
Yes.
Pushed down his pants and took out the weapon a man uses to lay love siege. He aimed his enormous battering ram at the opening of her gates and began the attack.
It made me laugh when I saw it because I was just randomly opening books and I'm like, wait a minute, what is going on here? Because the picture gets your attention and then you're like, what's
set about
happening?
Conquering her lips, her neck, and cleavage with hungry kisses. Liliana arched off the bed and moaned wantonly, which only spurred him on further. Sir Osper tangled the fingers of his right hand in Liliana's golden locks, and with his left he loosened the lacings of her bodice. Is it bodice?
What's a bodice? I don't know what
bodice,
that is.
Bodice. After he finally managed to unlace it, his eyes were met with the rousing sight of Liliana's voluptuous body.
Now pretend you just turned into Hitler.
Do you realize this?
I didn't read all that.
He took our love apples into his hands.
Love
feeling
apples?
Them, yes, love apples. I want your love apples. Feeling them rise and fall with a quickening breath. He caressed them.
That's a bit much. I just thought it was funny that he referred to his dick as a battering ram. But you're going a little too far with all this stuff. Love apples, and I didn't really know. But no,
the weapon a man uses to lay love siege.
I like how they said that a man uses to lay love siege. That's like an REM album, Love Siege. So look, this is all part of it though, because they have intricate lore like that in these books everywhere, much like Elder Scrolls. If you want to explore, you want to read.
I want more of this though. Is how can you get like a whole collection?
You got to play this game. Yeah, you should collect all this smut. Yeah.
Well,
this is Liliana, and I don't even want to talk about the Lady of the Lake. That bitch is doing something in there. The lake's all funny. Red. No, but the gameplay is great. The world design is great. It changes at night. It becomes like this like dark sort of possessed evil demon world where everything. They drop this currency that you need to summon King Arthur. But yeah, combat's better. Let's see. I don't know. Like I'm having like a really good time with it. How
are the graphics and the visuals
in the world? The graphics are
it?
Like not the best looking graphics I've seen, but they're good.
Okay.
But the thing about the world is the design of it is so fucking awesome. Now, yes, I'm a sucker for medieval dark fantasy shit, but like the design is so good. I am like stopping every second. Every corner you turn, you're like, holy shit, that's so handcrafted. Like that looks so awesome with the way the sunlight is hitting that like devil angel thing with like, the sword. Like there's these fallen knights everywhere. You go around collecting the dog tags basically of these fallen knights and you have to hand them all in. So there's things to collect. There's things to explore. There's shrines everywhere. If you make offerings, you get permanent buffs. Like you're just running around this world, this complete open world that feels so good to be in. I am doing every quest. I'm doing the main line. I'm doing the sideline. I'm doing the extra quest. Like I haven't even left like the first zone yet. And so people say you can play at least 70 hours or more if you do everything, because it's one of those games where, like I said, you can spend however long you want in these small areas that are just like so filled with stuff. You loot everything. Everything you take, you're going to use. Alchemy, cooking. Maybe it's just lore like Liliana's love apples. Yeah, 70 hours, Badger. So, like, I don't know. Like I said, I feel like I haven't even scratched the surface. And my sister's playing this as well, and she absolutely loves it. She's like, this is better than Dragon Age, better than Avowed, better than the Oblivion remake. She's like, I just am having a good time. I'm like, so am I. I really like this. So I'm a bit pickier than she is when it comes to, like, open world RPGs, because I didn't really love Avowed. I didn't like Veilguard, even though it wasn't open world. I did enjoy, playing Oblivion again, but honestly, I'm enjoying this more. So if you have played Oblivion, or you're just bored with Oblivion remake, and you're looking for the next open world RPG, you've got to play Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. There is a demo. Unfortunately, you can't get out into the open world with it. It's just like the prologue area. But I still think it's worth it. So it just came out of EA into 1.0. Yeah, you got to get the Love Apples DLC. And then, there's so many sacks to search. And I don't even mean, that's not even a clip that moment. Like you're just opening boxes and sacks, and like everything you're doing is just like, what am I going to discover? Even the dialogue options, John, you're like talking to people and you're going to uncover things just by talking to them. They might tell you about this, like one little conversation. I kept talking to this woman over, like, and finally she tells me something about the shipwreck, and it led me on like this 30-step quest to like find some shipwreck and find a treasure and all this shit. So you got to talk to people too. It's like all about exploring, all about like just getting yourself
sound
into
excited.
This world. I'm excited because I'm a gamer, John, and like there's certain games that just kind of make you want to sit in your PC chair for 5 hours and until your ass hurts. This game will make your ass hurt. This is what this does to me, and it's like not often I get lost in a game like this, especially these days. I'm very impatient.
Is it hard at all? I mean, how do you find? Is it Soulsy?
Normal, so I think they tried to lean into combining like a first-person Dark Souls, but it's not that difficult. I'm playing on normal, so I shouldn't say that. I mean, you can die, and you definitely have to think about combat. Now, maybe if you put it on hard, it feels that way, but I can definitely see why they were inspired. It does look a bit graphically like Elden Ring or Soulsy, and from what I've seen with Dark Souls and all the Souls games, like the way the lore is presented, like you might just run upon a random character who has this interesting story to tell, and that sort of happened with me. I found this one guy, and I just kept talking to him, and I put some pictures of him on my Steam at Coastal Michelle if you want to follow me and look at my screenshots. But so I just ran across this like innocent knight just sitting in the corner, and I'm like, let me talk to him. So you keep talking to him, and he's like, I'll fight you if you want, like to give you an honorable death. And so I fought him. It was a 30-minute battle. He was like some badass crazy dude, just some innocent guy sitting in the corner. I finally kill him. I took his fucking armor. I couldn't walk in it. It was so heavy. So now I'm like, how am I going to level up like my weight capacity so I can wear this dude's badass armor? Because it was like this, like, and the armor looks fucking insane in this game. Like it's actually dark and sweet, and like it doesn't look, it's not Disneyfied. Like it's not shitty.
Lich King.
Yeah, I mean, WoW is so campy and like cheesy at the end of the day. This is actually fucking badass. Like the art team on this, like they fucking nailed it.
Pretty badass.
The Lich King is not badass. Look, I like the Lich King.
Too.
I like
what
WoW.
What are you talking about?
No, he's not. It's WoW. Blizzard is Disney at the end of the day. They really are. This is not Disney. This is fucking Love Apple's battering ram to her vagina.
Right.
What did he call it? Her gates. Her gates,
something,
okay,
man
her
tools.
gates were sieged. All right, there's all sorts of things going on here that Blizzard would never touch with a 10-foot pole. There's a quest where you can talk somebody into killing themselves. Okay, like it's a fucking adult game and it's refreshing. I really like that. So the imagery, the story, and I'm gonna get Excalibur back. I'm gonna help King Arthur because I kind of feel bad for him. He had that whole thing with Lancelot and what was her name?
Lancelot's kind of a dick.
Yeah, I kind of liked Lancelot.
Guinevere? What was her name?
Yeah, Lady Guinevere. I like dicks.
I know, but King Arthur was such an honorable person or whatever.
Yeah, but that's boring.
But Lancelot was supposed to be the perfect guy, like the nice guy, right? Wasn't he?
Not really. No, he was supposed to be like the best swordsman. He's not the. Yeah. No, he was not. No, he was like a lone swordsman. He wasn't like the nicest guy. I don't know. I don't really know the story, to be honest with you. I have to go watch Excalibur. I've been meaning to. I stopped after 10 minutes. Opti, the third host tonight, is PSVR Frank, who's a community manager for a VR company. He's showing up in about 40 minutes. So I gotta keep moving here, even though I'm super excited about this game. I'm telling you, I don't want to oversell it, but if you like Elder Scrolls games, this one's better so far for me, like in so many ways. And I feel like I've covered everything. If not, go read my review on Steam. It was a long review. All right, so I also want to talk about Game of Thrones King's Road. Their PR team has been fucking like really going crazy with this game. Like they have a big budget for promotion as well, so I'm sure you've seen it everywhere. And
which game? I missed what you said.
Game of Thrones King's Road.
Oh yeah, that one. Okay.
Now they sent
me, yeah.
Yes, a big box of stuff, a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, a glass, ice cubes, Game of Thrones, whatever, playing cards. It had a bunch of shit
metal ice cubes.
Yes.
Like a highball whiskey glass,
yes.
American Apparel zip-up hoodie.
Exactly.
A tote bag and some kind of a flag or something.
They sent me a battering ram. No, it was the other game. So they also gave me a $90 Ultimate Edition, which the game went free to play the next day because it went from early access to like out. So my version that I have is like the big version with a bunch of perks, a bunch of coin, for the Iron Bank and all this stuff. Like people are complaining about this game because it's like free to play, but they monetize it a lot. So I can't speak to that because the version I have, I feel like they gave me a bunch of stuff, but I do want to talk about the actual game. And yes, it does kind of look like a game from the 360 era because it's a mobile PC crossover game. And I feel like they're still getting it right. Like you play it and you kind of feel a little mobily. I'm not going to lie. However, and I'm not saying this just because they gave me a t-shirt. Okay. I actually really liked the story, the voice acting, being in the Game of Thrones world, creating your character. You can play as a rogue or a knight, or like this other, I don't know what this other class was. I don't think I've ever like seen anything like it in Game of Thrones, but really good story, really good voice acting. It was great to run around Westeros, meet Jon Snow at the wall, find out what's going on with the wildlings and, the undead, and like I don't know, I had like a really good time with it. The character creator, honestly, you gotta love Korean games. The character creator has all attractive people and they have more options than like even full-fledged PC games have. Like you can spend an hour in the character creator and everybody looks great and I love it. So I want to be attractive in games. I don't want to look like when I randomize a character, I don't want it to look like a fucking alien, okay, which is kind of what goes on with like American games like Starfield or something.
That you're about to burn down a courthouse somewhere.
Yeah. No, Kevin, it's not really older graphics. It's actually just a mobile game they put on PC, but it actually looks okay. It looks pretty good. I think the gameplay ends up feeling a little janky like a 360 era just because it's a mobile game, but honestly, it's not that bad. I think the negativity you're seeing around it is because people are upset that they're trying to monetize it. If you are a Game of Thrones fan, and I would consider myself one,
is
I did
it
like
mandatory,
the original shows.
Though? What is it, like Battle Pass shit and all that? Or?
Yeah, I think so. And so it's third person, by the way, and there's like huge skills and talent trees and stories or whatever. But like, I think if you're not a Game of Thrones fan, don't even bother. But if you are, I think you're really going to enjoy being in this world, interacting with these characters. It's not bad. It's not a bad game or badly done in any way. So I want to give them like credit where credit is due.
Remember when we were doing, I forgot what podcast, Micro or something, we were looking at the reviews. And like people that were giving it thumbs down on Steam had like 500 hours of gameplay.
Because with a mobile game, and I know that because I played sort of Candelaria and I spent 100 hours in the game and it just never stops. Yeah. There's constantly updates, right? They want that to be the one game that you play. They want you to constantly play, constantly spend. So like, but honestly, with Fall of Avalon coming out, like I'm going to play that open world RPG. It's just better. But like if I wanted a free game, if I loved Game of Thrones, I would check out Game of Thrones King's Road. It's not bad. It's actually kind of enjoyable. And like I said, good story, good voice acting, great characters.
What are you doing in this game, by the way?
Well, you're fighting. You're leveling up. It's
But is it open world exploration?
Yeah,
all that.
It's a third person action game. It's heavy on combat and heavy on the story. You could compare it to The Witcher, I guess, like you were talking about The Witcher before. It's more Witcher than Elder Scrolls. So it's just a third-person action game, and it's not bad. And it's actually, I think for a Game of Thrones fan, if you want to experience a cool story, but just can tolerate a little bit of that like mobile jankiness that's in there, it's not so bad. And we're getting to the point where these PC mobile crossover games, a lot of them, you'd never know and kind of feel pretty good. This one's close, like you can tell, definitely. But like some of them that like I've heard like Wuthering Waves and Genshin Impact and stuff, like there's no difference. And so yeah, it's worth trying for free. I agree, Jedi, if you like Game of Thrones. And I was kind of impressed with some of it. And so shout out to them for sending us a big pack of stuff too.
I wonder how it plays on mobile, because like I'm looking at Google Play, 1 million plus downloads.
I mean, like, there's a lot of money.
A lot of people are playing this fucking game.
The cutscenes were good. Like the story is good. Like I said, like I can't shit on any of that. Like, yeah, monetization, whatever. People don't want it on PC. They're more acceptable of it on mobile. I get it. But I feel like, you don't have to partake in it. Like you say, it's not forced. Like maybe it does. It does
I mean,
I
dabble in free games with all these. I rarely spend money in them, unless it's like some idle clicker game I get into.
Right.
But
that's like the worst thing to spend on, I guess. So yeah, I did actually enjoy King's Road, but honestly, after I played it for like an hour or so, I was like, you know what? I don't need to play this. I've got Tainted Grail: The Fall of Avalon, which is like an open world RPG that I want to sit in my chair and play for hours, and I will keep playing. I hopefully will beat it this week, pass it this week. We were just having a conversation about that. How do you feel about roll credits on a game? See, I think it's pretentious and annoying. It sounds like something Matt Bradford would say. What are your thoughts on roll credits? Like when you say you beat a game, I would never say that.
I would never say that.
Exactly. No. You're in. There's two camps here. You're on the roll credits camp, or you're on the that sounds lame, I'd never say that camp. You and I are both on that side. But
I would say I finished it. I think that's pretty much what I would say.
I would say beat it. But sometimes I did say pass it, and people would yell at me for that. I think it comes from old school PC gaming with passing a level or whatever.
Right.
Jedi, you say rolling credits is acceptable. I don't think it is acceptable. It sounds like I rolled credits. It sounds
forced.
Yeah, it sounds like something Matt would say.
You're trying to say it to be cool. Like, I don't know. It's just like...
To me, I'd be like, this person was a loser in high school. That's what I would think. That's where my mind would go. You're overcompensating for the fact.
Use hip lingo. That doesn't exist.
Lingo. Don't try to be hip, okay? Do not try to be hip.
Yeah, man, I rolled credits on that game. What?
We're on to you, Jedi. We know what you're doing.
I rolled the credits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the credits. I saw who the producer was.
I saw it. I remember that director. Can you tell us anything from the fucking credits? You didn't roll the credits. First of all, it's from another time when somebody was back there actually rolling credits, right? Matt Bradford would definitely approve. But see, Matt and I are very different people. He's poop rag adjacent. Do we have to talk about this again, Jedi? Matt has friends who use poop rags. I would never associate with somebody who used a poop rag. Okay? So I think you're a poop rag person if you say roll credits.
Okay, in hindsight, was that ever really a thing, though, the poop rag? I thought that was just like a joke.
No. It was a joke that he used the poop rag. It's 100% true. He associated with poop rag people. He has a friend who uses a poop rag. Can you imagine going to your friend's house?
Do you mean like instead of buying toilet paper, you're just going to buy a towel and you just keep washing it?
You go
Isn't that a washcloth?
They have just a bin with poopy rags in their freaking bathroom. I'm out. We're not being friends anymore. I don't give a shit.
Fruit flies everywhere.
Yeah, I don't. It's like when you walk in a house and then you're walking around and the floor is crunchy. Have you ever been there? That's even worse than that. You're just crunching on. You're just walking around somebody's house, like your feet are crunching because their floor's filthy. Have you been there?
Like on what? Like
just on the
crunching?
Who knows? It's just crunching from who knows sticks,
like
crumbs,
Saran wrap and
dog
Fritos
food. I don't know.
everywhere.
Your foot is crunching. People out there, you understand what I'm saying? Your foot is. This is even worse than the crunch. Okay, you go in somebody's house, your foot crunches. Maybe they made a mistake. You go to their bathroom and there's a poop rag.
But like you stepped on a crunch berry. Like what are you crunching on?
John, I can't explain this to you. Either get it or you don't, and we're just different people. You don't get it. You don't get it. But I'm just
trying to understand what you're crunching on.
I'm saying there's. That if you say roll credits, you're a dork, is what I'm saying. Okay.
All
anyway, let's move on. Florages. Thank you, Cece. So I also played really quickly the Splitgate 2 open beta. Starts off with an unskippable video of two developers talking. Look, I'm sure you guys are nice. I'd love to have a beer with you. I don't drink. Never mind. I'd love to have dinner with you guys, talk to you about the game, but now is not the time. When I'm about to start a game, I boot it up. I'm excited. I've got 30 minutes to play before bed, and I have to sit there and listen to two dudes talking for 5 minutes about Splitgate 2 and how we should like it. So it's basically Portal with guns. I did play a little of the first one. This one is getting shit on. People are saying it's a downgrade from the first game. The maps are less vertical. It has abusive monetization.
I think I tried the first game, didn't I?
Yeah, the first one was pretty cool. Look, I had fun playing. Everybody sucked in the first couple of games I played. I was the top kills. It was kind of fun. It was floaty. They changed it where the portals can only go on certain parts, where I think before they were more plentiful where you could put them. So it's basically Portal with guns, going through portal, shooting people. It's fun. It's flighty.
PvP Portal.
Yeah. Sticky grenades, you can scan, you can, I don't know. It is kind of crazy. It's free to play right now, and there's just like tons of things you can do to upgrade your card and your character and stuff. I'm not going to say I didn't have like a decent time playing, but from what I know from the people who have actually played tons of the first comparing to this one, they say it's a downgrade in almost every way. So for me, I have to kind of think about those people that have probably played. But if you've never played the first, like me, or you just played a little, you may want to look at the beta, just check it out and have some fun. Mass Appeal says the first one was lit, as the kids say. Once again, something else I would not say.
I reviewed that on here. I remember
played
that.
it too, but just not enough to be able to compare them. And it was so many years ago, I don't remember.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, I think this one may be DOA from what I'm seeing, though, because just the reviews are kind of shitty. People are saying it's worse in every way. The monetization is just too much. But from what I played, at least, look, if I didn't know any of that, I would have said, all right, it was kind of fun. You know, I had a fun time shooting some people in a couple of maps.
I kind of don't like the gimmick of it, to be honest.
I'll tell you what, nobody was using the portals. I was just flying around through the air and just shooting people in the top of the head.
Right.
Yeah, it just became like some shitty shooter where you can jump. The portal thing, like, maybe it becomes like in higher MMR when you're in like higher skill, because I only played with like newbies in the beginning. Maybe then portal use becomes more important. But look, I don't care about this. If I'm going to play a shooter, it's going to be Siege, and I don't even play that much. Although Siege X is coming out June 10th, so I want you to take a look at that again. So yeah. Anyway, this is it for me. I just am drinking iced Tazo Passion Tea. I love it. It's a beautiful, punchy tasting summer drink. I've talked about it before. Yeah, and you can use the tea bags more than once. Yeah, I know you buy dented cans. Here's my cheapy cheap. Okay, yeah, I dip the tea bag a little in the cold water. Then I put the tea bag in a plastic bag. I may have it tomorrow. No, I just soak it. I dip it in because I don't want it too strong. I just dip it around. I swirl it. Then I put the bag in a little baggie, and I just have the same tea bag tomorrow. Otherwise, it's like $3 for each tea bag or something. And yes, shitty shooter is a genre. Boom tap. Anyway, all right. So what are you doing? Because we got about a half hour here before Frankie shows up.
I did a bunch of shit over the weekend. I went back to the Precinct. I'm going to mention that game again because I do like it. I'm recommending it, and it runs great on the Steam Deck, and it's Steam Deck verified.
Good.
So I went all into that game last week, but I'm still playing it. I dig it. It's a great, stupid, open world GTA style game, but you're a cop. That's pretty much it.
Listen to John's review last week if you missed it. He got into it.
Yeah. And then we got a key for this game called Squirreled Away.
Yes, we did. And I saw it and I was like, this is a John game. He has to play this.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, so I went into this game with low expectations, okay? I thought it was going to be like Little Gator, which is a stupid game I liked like last year or year before. And, you know, it's kind of a cutesy, colorful world where you are an animal getting quests from other animals and going around and just completing these quests, right? And when the game starts, you're just talking to other squirrels and you're just solving their problems, helping them. And, you know, I need 5 acorns or whatever, you know, and then you're climbing trees and doing platforming shit. And I thought that was the whole fucking game, okay?
Right.
So I'm doing all these quests in the beginning, and then all of a sudden, I come to a spot where I need a fucking axe.
Ooh, right? Now you got me interested. Oh, by the way, you can use an axe and mine in Fall of Avalon too.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, you can chop down trees. And okay, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so this is actually a survival craft game.
Oh, okay.
It's a crafting game.
I like those.
Maybe survival is not the right word, but it's a crafting game, okay? Mm-hmm. And you start getting all these quests that require you to harvest things and get things, but they require tools, okay? So now you're creating the tools. There's workbenches. It's a whole fucking thing, Michelle. And I played it for like 3.5 hours over the weekend, and I still haven't even like really gotten all the shit you can do. Like there's a lot going on in this game. And on yesterday, I didn't even know they did this. They just came out with a creative mode, because you can like basically you can build a house in a tree. You have like floors and walls and ceilings and decorations.
That was like when Valheim launched, it didn't have the creative mode, and I think that was a misstep. But then with like WeMod, you could just get wood and just build a house. So if you can do that,
they added a creative mode immediately, right?
That's good.
So now I have limited crafting ability. I can just make like generic floors and walls and ceilings, but there's like
like
furniture.
tree houses, Cliff says. Yeah, that sounds fun.
They're tree houses. And I saw people, like if you go on Steam and go in the community section and look at what people posted, it's fucking batshit crazy what people are making, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so the world is like kind of gated off. There's all these different sections. So you start out like on an island in a city, like in a park, and and you're stuck on this island, and you have to complete all the quests for all the different animals, mostly squirrels and a porcupine, and you complete all their quests, and then you get off the island, and now you're on another area that's gated. Which is where I am right now, and I'm trying to complete all these quests, and it's actually starting to get quite challenging.
She says you can build a house with floors and walls and ceilings. Amazing. That's a very John description. He explains how to do anything. So
and you can make doors.
You build. So when you make the doors, okay, you actually they go in the frame.
You can make walls and ceilings.
Yep.
And
you
then
have a
it's
window.
a house.
Do you know what a window is? It lets light and air in.
They got these windows but you can't open the windows.
Right.
And,
now, John, wait a minute. I got to ask you a very important question, because I've told you before that I much prefer doing quests like in games like this for other animals than for like creepy people. Because in Dinkum, I couldn't get down with that game, because in Dinkum there was just like this creepy fuck who wanted me to find him 12 seashells. You know, it just if a weird old man wants you to find 12 seashells, it just feels different than when like a cute little squirrel wants you to find it. Yeah. So I bet you like the world with all these animals and all these cutesiness. Like you probably enjoyed that, right? This game surprised the fuck out of me. I went into it with really low expectations. And I played this mostly on the Steam Deck in my living room on my TV. I haven't even tried it on my PC. Like I don't even know how great it looks. You better get to it, John. The night is young. It sounds like Squirreled Away is the hit for you. So I'm kind of stuck in a section right now. There's a fucking dog patrolling this park. Oh my god. And so it's pretty awesome though, because there's this dog that's just walking around the park, and you are really like a squirrel. You feel like a squirrel evading the dog. Where's his owner? I don't know, but he's patrolling. He has a dog house. There's some kind of shed there, and you can you have a quest where you're supposed to dig up and get his bones that are buried around his treehouse. But then you go down there, and then there's like a little warning meter. The dog's coming, but you're like a squirrel. Like that this fucking guy can't get me because I just need to run to a tree and go up it. If a cat chases you, you're definitely screwed. But I've seen my dog do this every day. Like he thinks he's going to get a squirrel. He's never gotten one. Right? Because the squirrels are like, nope, I'm just going up this tree. And end of story. So you really feel like that. And there's like a canopies of trees where you could just jump from tree to tree to tree and stay real high. And then you come down. There's like the platforming is really good. I thought the controls were great. This game's a lot of fun. It really is. And it's a great Steam Deck game. Yeah. How much is it? All right. I think it was like $7 on sale from like 13 or something. Okay, so tell us about, and I know you hate when I ask you about a game, you'll specifically pick another one just to be a defiant ass, but I want to ask you about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tactical Takedown. They also sent us a key for this, and you played this on Steam Deck. What do you think? Because it's turn-based. So this is, it's a turn-based tactics game, kind of like Mario versus Rabbids or Final Fantasy Tactics or whatever. It's listen, it's like a chess game, okay? And it's basically each level is you need to get to the end and then defeat everybody, and then you clear the level, right? So it's level based, okay? And you're advancing through the level like you would like in a Turtles arcade game, right? You're just it's like it's not like a stationary area. You have to go from start to finish. But how it works though is that the level mutates, okay? And so parts of the level that are behind you will turn red,
and then they will fall off the face of the earth. And if you're on there, you will lose a life. Or if your enemies are on there, they will all die. And so you're basically trying to stay in the green, keep moving forward while attacking your foes. And you basically have you have 6, hearts, life, and then you have 6 ninja stars, which are your kind of your mana or whatever. And you have a set of moves depending on which character you are. Now, so far, you only play as one character at a time, and each one has a different move set. Yeah,
the turtles got to work together.
I know. Maybe later. Okay, I don't know.
There's no solo turtles. No, I don't like it.
I was actually surprised by that too, to be honest. I kept saying, "Is there a way I can switch to the other turtle?" So
when I grew up, I had a crush on Raphael when I was a little kid. So I don't know, but I want to ask you a very important question about this game.
Yes,
it's probably the most important Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles question. In this rendition, is April ugly or pretty?
I don't know if I even saw April.
Okay, because they've made her really hideous in some things, and people flip out.
She was never really hot, to be honest.
She was supposed to be hot. She's not. I don't think she's. But yeah, is it Tiger approved? That's a good question, Cranky. I know you're not into gingers, John.
I think this game is great. It's decent enough. I think it's just kind of okay. It's mid, right?
Okay.
It does just enough.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's
kind of like rolling credits, John. I don't know.
It's not bad. It's not bad, but it's not amazing.
He didn't hate it.
I don't hate it at all.
All right, good. Yeah.
And it's
Is that
also
you're out on a date with somebody and you get back and someone's like, how'd it go? You're like, I didn't hate her.
Yeah, right.
It's almost better to hate her.
Good enough, I guess.
Feel like she's kind of there, I think I'd rather hate somebody.
No, there's nothing really wrong with this game.
Right.
It's it feels like an old DS game. Or old Switch game.
There's too many
whatever.
options out there to play this solo turtle game. You don't even get, the guys working together. I don't want to play it. It was just.
I guess
Raphael
April is in the
pizza.
art, in the cover art. I think that's April. Look at the cover art. Is that her?
Is that her? She doesn't.
It doesn't look like her.
She's like Rachelina.
I don't know. I played a couple hours of this game and I haven't seen this girl, so I don't know who she is.
I don't know. They just put a girl on the cover. It sells better.
But I will say this though.
For the podcast.
Listen, this is like a game of chess, and the more I played the game, the more I was really getting the hang of the strategy. Because there's some guys that have moves where you push people off the level, and some of the moves where you jump in the middle of a group of guys, and then it injures everyone that's around that space, which I really liked. Where you could throw down electricity and block them. Yeah, some of them have AOE's. So once you understand how these moves work, it's actually becomes quite fun and satisfying to clear the level. So
sounds like you actually kind of like it then.
I do. I don't hate it at all. I really don't.
There's a difference between I like it and I didn't hate it. I think you need to learn.
I'm just saying, I recognize that there's not actually a ton here. It's kind of bare bones.
Right.
But what is here is totally playable and fine and good. And there's a point shop too where you could spend and kind of upgrade and give your characters more moves and stuff, or unlock music and stuff, different songs. Right. So I don't know.
Well,
if you're a Turtle fan, if you're a Turtle fan, it's $18 right now on Steam.
Okay.
I don't know if it's on everything else.
Now tell us about the big Gray Zone Warfare Winds of War update. They turned their reviews around, I think. They were mixed and now they're mostly positive.
Well, yeah, I think, okay, so all the bad reviews that are there, lurking in there, are mostly about people with potato computers.
No, because it's the same people saying now they like it and they didn't before. So they changed up the gameplay to be clear, right?
And also, if you look at a lot of the bad reviews too, people are saying, and this is true though, I walked down the street and then I was dead. And I don't know how I died.
Right.
And that happens a lot. I mean, Matt and I, my friend Matt McCarty, by the way, if you guys missed it, we made an announcement that we're not going to be playing Call of Duty anymore.
This is worse than a wedding announcement.
And we are shifting all of our time to Gray Zone Warfare, including tonight. We're going to be playing again tonight. And
you know what I'll be doing tonight?
What's that? Oh, that.
What?
I don't what
nothing. I'm just saying I've got actually work to do tonight, and you just go play Gray Zone Warfare.
Oh, shut up!
I know Continue.
What you're talking about. All right, all right. So last week after VGO, the Winds of War 0.3 update came out, and again, let's stress 0.3. Okay, we're not at 1.0 yet with this game. Okay,
right.
So you're supporting a game that's in development, and I'm okay with that because this is my dream game. And they've really changed. I'll tell you what we experienced so far. We haven't done everything yet that's in this update. Okay. So one of the big changes they did is they added these outposts. Okay. So the game loop is this. Okay. You spawn in your base. Okay. And when you're in the base, you have access to the vendors. The vendors give you tasks. Okay. And when you're in the base, you're basically outfitting yourself, and then you're getting missions from the vendors, and then you go out into the world and you complete the missions. Okay. And when you could walk out of the base on foot and go do the missions, you could take a helicopter, which are basically flight paths. They run predetermined routes, very linear. You don't control the helicopter. You just say, take me to B, and you leave from A, right? Or you could just go by foot, okay? And then if you die out there...
I like how you just spent 5 minutes explaining how to go from a flight path, point A to point B.
I know. So if you die out, if you die out there, your corpse stays in the world.
Right.
And you have to basically run back to your corpse to get all of your gear back, okay?
And if another player gets there, they can take everything.
Yes, but a PvP though. A foe. Okay, now they changed something. If you loot a friendly's body, you become an aggressor now. And you're marked.
Dumb. You should be able to get your friend's stuff.
I know, it is kind of dumb. So I looted a guy that was dead. I didn't realize it was a teammate or someone on my team, and then I was marked as an aggressor for 20 minutes. And now I'm like, fair game.
Because you took his stuff so he couldn't get it.
I took his fucking ear pro, and then also I'm a bad guy.
Yeah, but you should give that to him. You're a bad guy. It's like your brother's in war. If your friend dies, you don't just take his stuff and then
it
go
wasn't
home
my
and bang
friend.
his wife.
I mean, it was a guy I didn't know that was on our team.
He was on your
okay?
side, okay?
On my side, yes.
Do you understand warfare, John? He's on your side. You don't just pillage his body when he's
understand.
Down.
So you go out and you do these missions. You don't want to die. You loot the PvE bad guys.
You don't want to die. Thanks for giving us that tip.
So you don't want to die because if you do, then you have a problem with your corpse that you have to deal with.
Hold
okay,
on. Dying is bad.
It is bad in this game. Yeah, and that's new. So all right.
Before you didn't care.
You kill the PvE people, you take all their shitty guns, all that stuff, and then you basically want to get back to a base so you can go to your stash, go back to the vendors, and you can walk to a base, you can take the helicopters again. But you basically, if you want to keep stuff, you got to get it back to your base somehow and put it in your stash or sell it, right? And that's kind of the loop. And then what they added now are these outposts, which are mini bases throughout the map that you can control and take over or contest or whatever. And so basically, these little outposts.
This sounds like a lot of work, I got to tell you. This sounds like a lot of work. Yeah.
But the outposts actually really are nice because now you don't have to go all the way back to the main base.
How's the plumbing?
At the outposts?
Yeah.
I didn't notice,
Michelle.
Michelle.
Like a good toilet.
And the outposts have like different vendors in them and stuff, but you have full access to the vendors and the tasks and the stash. And the maps are giant. They added also something that we haven't tried yet. There's kind of like instances or dungeons now on the map. And it says it takes like an hour to do them. We haven't tried those yet.
Ooh. And let me guess, dying is bad in those too, right?
I heard that dying is bad in those.
Okay, good. Yeah.
But I'm not sure. Okay. So this game is everything I want it to be. You know, you get into a server, you stay in there forever. You know, it's not like a timed thing. Like you can literally stay in the server for like fucking 8 hours. And Matt,
when you log off, when you log back in, are you in the world?
What do you mean? So it's like sharded.
Is it like WoW? If I go to Stormwind City and I log out, when I log back in, am I in Stormwind City by the bank, looking at somebody jumping around on a mountain by a fountain?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right.
But it might be a different group of people when you come back in, right?
Obviously, unless they're just there all day. Although people did do that in WoW. Okay, right. I get how it works. I just want to know like the persistent world.
But if like
Steve
is sitting on a bench when you leave, I don't know. When you go in the server, it might be Scott because you're on a different server, right?
Yeah.
Steve's on the other server that you left.
Fuck Steve.
Right. So listen, the game's really shaping up. Oh, the dynamic weather too is pretty badass. So we haven't experienced
explain to us what this is, you know.
So basically, the weather can change.
Okay. Now, can you talk to me a little bit about the weather patterns? Is it always like April showers?
What we saw so far is mostly lightning in the background.
Okay.
And it's pretty,
is it a Mediterranean climate? Because, you know, that's where I live in Southern California.
No, it's not.
It's a bit of a Mediterranean climate. Okay.
It's Thailand.
Moist.
It's Thailand.
Moist. Yeah.
And And then they also added a day-night cycle. They actually added that in the last update, not this one.
Well, I don't really care. So let's talk about Xbox because you played.
Now this is, but I'm saying there's things about this game that I hope they add, like flyable vehicles. I don't want to be just on like an AI control.
Vehicles? You mean like a fucking helicopter? What do you mean?
Yeah, that's a vehicle. Yes, helicopter's a vehicle.
A plane? What's a flyable vehicle? Just say a plane.
No, I want helicopters. I want to be able to control the little bird.
I don't think I've ever heard the term flyable vehicles before, unless I was watching the Jetsons when I was 4.
So I wish there were flyable vehicles like Blackhawks, Apache helicopters, little birds that we can actually command. Because right now, like, again, it's on rails. You just get into like this fucking Disney ride that goes from A to B. I want to I want someone to actually be the pilot. That's his job. He takes everyone from the base to wherever. I don't think it's going to
happen.
That would be badass. And have like Apache helicopters, you can patrol the fucking territory. They did add mortars where you can like mortar a town before you go into it. So it's starting to get like more realistic. I mean, it's a mill sim. It's pretty great. But the time to kill is super fast.
I've heard the hit reg sucks.
Okay, we just
nobody
words.
can say anything bad about it. What do you mean words? Everybody knows what hit registration is if they play shooters, John. What words? Okay, how about we talk about Xbox
I don't
retro.
agree with that. I could fucking take a guy down to fucking 100 yards with iron sights, and if you aim at the fucking head,
spotty.
Yeah,
headshots work. Sometimes they don't work other times.
The bad part about the game, though, is like Matt and I are just walking through a fucking rice paddy, a rice field, talking to each other in our own little zone, and all of a sudden I'm like, "Hey, Matt, I was wondering, do you like the rug in my basement?" Or oh shit, Matt, I'm fucking dead.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
Like just like he's like, where? Who shot you? I'm like, I don't fucking know. I'm dead. And now you
don't
can
ask another male friend if they like the rug in your basement. It doesn't make any sense, John.
And so now you can drag your partner to like into the bushes when they're like incapacitated.
John,
and then
we've got
try
to move
to heal
on because
them.
we've got 5 minutes where we got to take a break before Frank. Tell us quickly about the retro Xbox thing you tried.
All right, so Phil really did do it again. Okay.
Yeah.
So on Game Pass, they added something called Retro Games. Okay. And it's called Retro Classics, actually. And this is a separate app, okay, that has an interface from fucking 2000. I don't know who the fuck designed this fucking bullshit, but it looks horrible. It looks like Flash. It really looks like Flash. I used to do a lot of Flash shit. This looks like Flash. Okay. And it's bad. Okay. But it's a collection of games from early Activision, like early DOS and 2600. It's got PlayStation 1 titles. It has Super Nintendo titles. It has a Commodore Amiga, Sierra, early
People
PC.
People have been comparing their leaderboard scores on our Discord. Shout out River Raid Jedi. People are like excited
it's got
about
DOS
the
games.
leaderboard
So this
thing.
this is what's exciting. So if this was just a straight up emulation play where you play these games, it would not be nearly as enjoyable.
Okay.
It's a lot like what Nintendo did with the Nintendo World Championships, the NES edition, where you play all the old games, but there's leaderboards and challenges and all this shit, right? This is what this is. So if you want to play fucking River Raid, there's a challenge, there's daily challenges. You look at the challenge, like I did the Pitfall one tonight. It said clear as many boards as you can, screens, right? And you're trying to get at least 10, and then there's a leaderboard for it without dying. And then after, if you succeed, you get like bronze, silver, or gold, whatever. You then get these points. They're currency that you could spend in the collectible shop, and the collectible shop has little avatars and stuff that you can use, like just digital bullshit. But there's a nice selection of games here. They have community challenges, they have versus challenges, they have solo challenges. So you could just like play by yourself, do the challenges, or you could play against the community and be on leaderboards and stuff. But it's pretty well executed. Honestly, they could put this is something they could sell. Like put it on PlayStation, put it on the Switch.
Game Pass, right? So
it is part of Game Pass.
Okay.
But honestly, they could sell this and it would be worth buying. Like I could see this on the Switch, this whole package. And the games just load. You're not like you're basically, once you're in the menu, you click on a game. I don't know if it's streaming or loading in the background, but these games are all like 10K or something. They're all
question
microscopic
is, will they
games.
pack them together and put them on Steam for $50 or something?
I think they should. I really think they should. And also when you're in there too, they are showing the Ant Stream service that you could then attach to this, which is the 1,000+ retro streaming games. You know that service, Ant Stream? I know we talked about it at some point.
Yeah, many years ago.
So this is really like how Nintendo handles it, where you go into a different universe on the Switch to get to the retro games. And that's how this is. You go into this game, this app, and then there's all these games that they're going to keep adding to. Every day there's new challenges.
That's silly though. It should be in the Game Pass app. Like you can segment it off on another.
It's in the Game Pass app, but you have to launch it from within there. I'm sure you can somehow get it out of there and put it, in your Windows Start menu or something. But it's part of Game Pass. It's something you could launch from within Game Pass, but it's its own standalone app.
But it's going to launch another app if I'm in Game Pass app, and it launches another app.
Essentially a front end that basically shows all of these.
Yeah, on the back end, it could do that without showing it to me. I think it's silly with an app and an app and an app. I don't like.
It kind of makes sense though. I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but you kind of go into this world. Yeah, whatever. But no, I think this is a big success. I think they did a great job with this. I besides the interface being kind of shitty.
Good job, Phil.
So, and I'm drinking an Athletic Upside Dawn.
Okay.
Golden.
We are going to take a quick break right now, and then we're going to talk to Frank. Remember, if you want ad-free VGO, the 20-year back catalog, as well as weekly bonus shows that John and I do every single week, you can support us in Discord or on our app at videogameoutsiders.com. All right, well, Frank is late, so we pulled in the game store guy here.
We think he's late. He might not even show up for all.
Well, he might. If he shows up, he's here. If not, we've got Kevin to keep us company here going over news. Now, what's going on at your store, Kevin?
CC Games CEO of the game store guy.
Are people hyped for the Switch 2? Are people pooping? What is happening over there at your game store?
Luckily, nobody's pooping, but people are hyped for the.
Are people asking questions, and then are you canceling their orders if they do?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Hey, can I put a $10 deposit? Can I get 3 of that back just for now?
Oh man, yeah. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of people just wanting to, seeing if I can get them one early, and trying to grease the palm to get one out the
But if they
door
get it early, they can't
sort of-
use it, right? And you were talking about how that's actually kind of shitty of Nintendo to do. What are your thoughts on that?
I actually don't like that at all, because if they screw up and send you one early, I don't like what the precedent that it sets, because you don't really own it if they can turn it off and turn it on.
Right.
I don't like that at all. That's really bad on Nintendo, especially like one of the things I was thinking. I traveled recently, went on an airplane, and they sell those things in the airport.
A flyable vehicle. That's what John calls it. Not
yeah. Sorry, I went on a flyable vehicle, and
thank you.
People buy those at the airport, and if you get it, you have to go online to activate it. That's not good for a device that you travel around with. I don't know.
No, I said that earlier jokingly, but I have done that where games, if you have to activate a game online too, that's gonna be shitty. Like I remember opening the jewel case on a plane, and like excited to play a new game, and if it was a game key card, I'd be fucked. Now, Kevin, is the new Switch bundles with Mario Kart? Are we getting a physical game in there or a code?
No, it's code.
Because I heard it was a actual cartridge. No,
code.
Are you sure?
I think it's pre-installed on the system, to be honest.
Really?
I think either that or the way they were doing it recently with the Switch is you had to turn on you had to activate your account, and then you could download it. It was like already paid for once you activate an account on the system. That's the way the last ones worked. So yeah, no, it is from everything my
so I guess the
code in a box.
The images I saw before were bullshit, because now I'm reading it is a download code. Because people posted images of the box and it said includes game cart, but that was obviously a lie. In someone's Photoshop.
I want to ask Kevin about this, because I saw some stuff saying that a lot of PS5 sales going on right now because their price is the same and Microsoft just raised. Are you seeing more people coming in interested in buying like PlayStations right now, or the pricing, is that a factor here with what's going on?
It is PlayStation's always been outselling, so they're doing even better, and they have a sale that starts tomorrow where they have you can get the PS5 for $450 with the new Call of Duty. So it's going down in price technically.
That's a deal.
For 2 weeks.
You can get one for $400 the base. Like
they had the Astrobot bundle too that was cheap.
Yeah,
it was $450 as well. I think they're really trying to
but Kevin, it went to $4. That bundle was at $4.
Right, yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and where everything's going up in price, it's kind of like Sony's trying to take advantage, I think, of everybody going up in price, and they really don't like Nintendo, so they're trying to hurt Nintendo's launch by lowering prices and having their I think what is it called, summer sale days.
Yeah, because we've been joking about the fact that it's about as powerful, like you were saying, Kevin. You think the Switch 2 will be about as powerful as like a PS4 Pro. And so they want you to go, well, you can get a PS5 for cheaper than a Switch 2. Hey, guys, get this thing, right?
So it's hard to carry that PS5 though with you.
Yes, of course, different market
on a flyable vehicle.
Oh yes, of course. But that's the title of the
Kevin,
episode.
Now, have you raised your pricing on the Series X and all that to align with Microsoft's new scheme?
Had to. Yeah, you have to.
And has that hurt sales?
Yeah, nobody's buying one.
Seriously?
Oh no.
I mean, I did.
To be honest,
I did sell a couple, but I sold some used ones. No one's buying new ones. So I sold some used ones that were about $100 less. So, but still, that's even crazy to sell it for what it was selling for new not too long ago.
And it was very hot to trade in your Xbox like a couple weeks ago. I saw they were getting good money at GameStop, like decent.
Yeah, you still are. You're getting around. You're getting around 400.
That's insane. That's crazy.
It's nuts.
So if you have an Xbox lying around, go trade that shit in. $400.
And what is a
Switch
Switch getting for trading right now? Switch 1.
Not a whole lot. Switch, because there's so many of them. It all just comes down to supply and demand. And they sold so many Switches that I see them all the time. Same with the PS4. The PS4s are not worth much of anything to trade in because everybody has them. Everybody bought them, and then everybody sells them. I had 2 Switches sold back to me today, a PS4, an Xbox One. It was such a big trade-in sales day today. Everybody's getting money ready or getting credit ready to buy the Switch too.
Yeah. So. And so I talked a bit about this. So on the current Switch, they had an update, which has this kind of preemptive update or backup you can do so you can sell your Switch. Is everyone doing that? Are you educating people on this? Like how to back up your Switch 1 and then sell it? And is that going to work?
I hope so, but with Nintendo, with everybody trying that and their online's not the greatest, I wouldn't rely on that, but hopefully it works. I hope it works. Otherwise, people are going to be asking me, "Oh, can I just, can I buy it and sit here and transfer everything?" I've had
because that's going to be a nightmare because they have this new update scheme, and it even says, "Hey, don't worry, you can sell this device if you want to put it towards a Switch 2. Here's what you do: press this button, and then it says once you're done, you can safely get rid of this console. Your world is backed up." That's not going to work.
I'm hearing a little echo. Kind of turn down your headphones, Kevin. I want to talk about this quickly.
Okay.
Marketing for Marathon has reportedly been canceled following the plagiarism controversy. So we talked about that, but now there's rumors that they might just be canceling the game or delaying it heavily. Is there any recovering here? Is Bungie dead? Is Marathon dead? It's not looking good out there.
It's looking bad for
here's
Bungie.
the thing. Here's the thing, though. Okay. This is a very important IP to Bungie. Okay. This is a series that existed before Halo, okay? And they were very excited to bring this back. Did they just kill their legacy, right?
Yeah.
I think the talent has left that building a long time
ago.
ago.
Oh, of course it has. But still, I mean, it's like Disney, fucking up Steamboat Willie or something, right?
Or fucking up Star Wars. So we could just go with that.
The first Star Wars. Well, I'm saying like Steamboat Willie is like the precursor to Mickey Mouse, right? Like, and Marathon in a way is the precursor to Halo, and they just ruined their legacy. Like this wasn't like some new IP they just invented. I think it's batshit nuts that they fucking did that to that, right?
Yeah. I don't know how they recover from this, to be honest. I think this is just like a Concord 2.0. I would cancel it if I was them, but I don't know what they're going to do. Maybe
but don't
make
they
it
have
free to
years
play.
of development behind this?
Yeah, but then it's a live service. When the game launches, you're going to have to dump a bunch more money to keep it going. I don't know. I don't know what you do. And then you got Arc Raiders coming out at the same time, and that just is blowing it away.
Arc Raiders is pretty cool. It's just crazy to me because what was appealing to me about Marathon was the art aesthetic. Like right away, and they lifted the entire aesthetic from someone else. So what do you do now? Make it like a fucking 8-bit game? like how do you get out of this?
I think Goodwill, you pay the guy whose art it was.
Well, that's
bring
true.
him aboard. I mean, they have the money. Bring him aboard. That would
be
back
cheaper,
some goodwill,
right?
It would be. It would help their image too. You know, they fire the guy that stole all the art.
He's no
and hire
longer
the guy.
there. I think they said it was probably just some outsource. I mean, what a lot of these companies do is they outsource stuff to like even non-gaming companies. Like there's people that do the
Some guy
art
in
that
Fiverr.
not even that. It's just like they're doing like commercial work and then they give them like assignments. I know people that have done things like that and they don't work in the gaming industry, but they're artists or developers that are being outsourced at these companies. And it was probably just something like that. And if the art director isn't going through everything with a fine-tooth comb, this is what happens when you don't have like company talent. And yeah, it's risky, but I think it's probably dead. There's no recovering from something like this at this point. And yeah,
and the thing is, I don't think people really like the game anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Even
if
with the
people
art
loved
style,
it, they'd rally behind
right?
it.
Right. Yeah. Everybody.
I wasn't hearing, that people were blown away with the gameplay. Am I wrong? I didn't hear that.
No. Like I was watching people just be bored with it. Like there wasn't a lot to do, and you didn't run into a lot of other teams or anything. So it was just kind of go in, do your thing, and get out. And you didn't have much resistance. Which
John, you wanted
boring.
to talk about keyboard and mouse support confirmed for Switch 2?
Yeah. What do you think of that? That's actually...
I think it's silly because... Well, look,
why is it silly?
I feel like because the whole reason I've heard that people want to switch is not outside of the Nintendo games because it was easy and portable, and PC gaming is too complicated, and now you're bringing in PC stuff into your Switch. Look, I think it's interesting. I don't think you should be using the Joy-Cons that way. I laughed so hard today watching a video of a guy playing wheelchair basketball, like just rolling the double Joy-Cons on the mouse pad.
That's fucking dumb.
So
Even
stupid.
I will say this. That's stupid. Okay.
Yeah.
The whole wheelchair.
But if Civ 6 comes to the Switch 2 and you're a mobile gamer,
sure,
whatever,
or
you're
Mario
playing,
Paint, like I
you're
said
gonna
before.
Pull out,
but okay. No. So I really do think that Nintendo might be a little threatened with all these PC handhelds. Or
especially in Japan where they're very plentiful.
Right. So this is probably preemptive. Okay. And they said, okay, they're coming after us. Steam Deck, you can use a mouse and keyboard with it if you pair it with Bluetooth and all that. And I've done that, and I still do that with my Steam Deck, right?
We know that Nintendo will never put their games on Steam. Would they allow Steam on the Nintendo? If it could ever happen. Not that it would, right?
I don't know.
Do you think they'd allow their market to open up? Well, they basically kind of have it with their store. There's all those Steam indie games on there.
Oh, that's interesting what you're saying. So,
yeah, but I'm saying like if they really want to be not threatened, they just invite the rest of the world into their world instead of putting their world everywhere, which they won't do.
Right.
Nintendo loves control, so I don't see it happening.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, listen, I don't have a lot of faith in Metroid, to be honest. The next Metroid, maybe it'll surprise me. I don't know. But that would be the game for mouse and keyboard, right? And
yeah.
So the only time I would ever take advantage of that is when I do my deck mode outside with my TV. I might then have mouse and keyboard for that. But in the living room, I don't see me doing that. So do I take my Switch and hook it up to my PC monitor down here? And now I'm pretending
You'd never
it's a
do
PC.
that unless it was a Nintendo game, right? An exclusive. And
maybe. I mean,
why would you ever choose play on that versus your PC?
I'll probably never hook up an actual mouse, but I might use the mouse mode in Metroid. But I'll use it where I can move with the left Joy-Con, and
that's ghetto, dude. That's not good. That's not a good setup. You got an analog stick in one hand and a mouse in the other.
There's going to be a lot of injuries happening.
I used to do that all the time, though. I don't like using the keyboard to move.
But someone's going to make a WASD, just a little WASD.
Is beautiful in your fingers. You got to get on board.
Yes.
You got to get on board.
An
I would
analog
like
stick
a permanent
plus a mouse
WASD
is
glued to
dumb.
my fingers.
Oh, God, it drives me nuts. I can't stand it. I've never liked it.
Why don't you get WASD tattooed on your knuckles, Michelle?
I don't believe in tattoos. I'm not going to deface my body, John. How dare you? But no, I will crazy glue WASD to my fingertips. No, but I think that I don't know, John, I think it's definitely a reaction to not just the Steam Deck, but all of the handheld PCs, where people are looking and being like, well, I can play, 1,000 games here and 20 games here. numbers are
Right,
made up.
and
obviously,
also at the same time, turn those into PCs if you want with a mouse and keyboard and a monitor.
exactly,
Which you can do with the Steam Deck, right?
I think that's more just to get some of those titles over on the Switch. I don't think they'll ever open
Oh,
up to Steam, but
interesting.
they just want to attract some more of the.
Couldn't they do that with the
PC.
touchscreen though? It's your finger's basically a mouse pointer.
True.
To have the mouse thing and show like playing a first person shooter like Metroid with it, I think it's a direct reaction to these handheld PCs. I think this market's going to be heating up more. I think the living room console is dying.
I agree.
know
I think it's preemptive.
Yeah, so many people want to get rid of the living room console and just get a handheld like a Switch or a Steam Deck and have a PC. And I think Nintendo is probably smart to get ahead of this. Now, would I make the choice to use that mouse? Probably not. But it does take real mice too, like John is saying, and that's been confirmed.
Yeah.
Well, it's been confirmed according to someone on Twitter. So,
Well, I mean, if it's on the internet,
Well, then it must be true.
yeah, it has to be true. Just like Frank told you he'd be here tonight.
Well, that was
It's still not
confirmed
true.
on the internet.
Do we have a Frank check-in here? We are halfway through. Any
If
reply?
you're just joining us, PSVR Frank is not here.
He is not here. Thank you for subbing, Kane. And yeah, check your subs,
And
guys.
I sent him a message at 10:03 that said "coming?" ?
That's it? You didn't go in for the seconder?
Now, how did you spell coming though, John?
Oh,
CUMM.
yeah, see, that's too much. You don't do that on the first date. All right, well, other news, let's see here. A Dragon Age Maestro says EA always spoke about a hypothetical nerd cave full of diehard RPG fans who would, quote, always show up. So you didn't really have to try or appeal to them. Maybe he was right, but he shouldn't have said it out loud. What do you guys think of this? Do you think that's kind of their mindset when they went into the next Dragon Age game, just using the name, hoping the Dragon Age fans would show up, and then maybe they really didn't?
I think we're getting that with a lot of games nowadays. That
Like
they're just
Borderlands,
using the names.
right?
They're just shell. Yeah,
Like what
they're
Randy
just shells
Pitchford
of
said.
their former self.
Real fans will show up. It doesn't matter what we
But
do. It doesn't matter what
but it
we
wasn't a good
price it.
game.
Yeah.
But like, okay, the biggest problem we have with all of these games that are legacy games, evergreen games that we've been talking about for 20, 30 years is that the original people are long fucking gone, right?
Yes, the talent is gone.
The talent's gone, and their sensibility, their outlook on the world and what they want to do is also kind of, I don't want to say
gamers
antiquated.
are actually changing too, though.
But
gamers
but
want
like
different
the
things now.
workplace culture is different than it was when those games were made, right? So
Yeah.
and the teams are bigger, everyone's conflicted, everyone's competing for ideas, and everything just averages out to vanilla bullshit. And that's what's happening, right? Like
I think a lot of them don't respect the source material either. They'll shy
They
away
hate
from
it.
Sure.
And,
it's like Star Wars, right? You know,
Or
just like-
Witcher, the Witcher TV
Yeah.
show. The producer hated the source material, so why did you
Yeah,
make the show?
right.
It's weird,
right. And like the Snow
Yeah.
White movie, you know, like
right? It's a total antithesis of what
weird,
the
weird.
princess is supposed to be. Weird.
right. Well,
yeah.
it was so antiquated that it was toxic. You know,
She
like,
doesn't
the
need a
prince is
man
gonna-
to save her.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
exactly.
Well, why are you doing Disney Princess then? Do like a boss
Right.
bitch movie too. Like do so, but yeah. So I don't know. Dragon Age. I think the series may have been killed after that, and I think a lot of the people that are there
Probably.
aren't there anymore.
It's a shame though.
apparently.
The combat in that was fun. I
The combat wasn't horrible, but I just think it wasn't Dragon
the combat
Age. And people
was
didn't
fun. It was kind of arcadey fun. I thought, you know,
Yeah,
Sure.
it wasn't bad.
Star Warsy.
That part of it.
Let's see
So-
here. What other news?
So about going back to the Switch thing, Kevin.
Yeah.
So when do you actually get those? Like,
I'm hoping to get them sometime this week. I'll probably get them. They for a smaller place like me, they like to try to get them a few days early, but they hold on to them. They don't trust us, the smaller guys. 'Cause
Yeah.
In they trust me, but there's so many small stores that'll sell
Right.
them early and stuff like that. So,
and then
they really control them.
follow up question.
Yeah.
Besides Mario Kart, what is the big pre-order game, if any?
It's it's like 99% Mario Kart, but there
And
are
then
some
what?
people
What?
that
Name me
wanna-
give me another title, like something.
As weird as this is, they want to pick up the Zelda, the Tears of the Kingdom. That's actually for it, even though there's a lot of people that haven't played it, or
Yeah.
they just want that Switch 2 version.
Really?
There's a lot
Well,
of
John, you're gonna
Nintendo
do it.
people are collectors,
But
They
I have
want-
Tears of the Kingdom, so I forgot. Do I get a free upgrade? I have to pay.
You get a free upgrade if you have the online service. So
I do. Okay, so I'm set.
You'll get it. Yeah, but there's people that'll collect the Tears of the Kingdom for Switch 1, and then they want that Switch 2 one right next to it. I won't do it, but
for the Dragon Age nerd wall.
Yeah, Zelda wall, Nintendo nerd wall.
Zelda shrine. They got to have every Zelda ever made.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of people like that. There's a lot of people, especially my customers, that are wanting to buy the system by itself and then buy Mario Kart physically because they want the physical cartridge. They want that box to put on the shelf.
Is everyone buying the bundle?
I would say it's about 50-50 at my store, but I have a lot of collectors that come to my store. I bet you they sell, I bet 80% of them are bundles that they're going to sell.
Right.
But at my store is a little different. I get a lot of collectors.
I mean, to me, it was a no-brainer because it's a cheaper way to do it, right?
Right. But to the collector, they want to have that box on the shelf. They want to have that cartridge. It's different. They want to own the game.
I think it was a misstep.
Even though you can't use the Switch 2 if Nintendo turns it off.
That is terrible.
So all your
I
games.
don't like that at all.
Yeah.
Especially if because I'm going to have it a day or so early, and I'm not going to be able to enjoy it this time. I've always, had a system a little early. I don't like it.
Are you going to turn it on a day early and get like a list?
Yeah, I'm going to mess with it. I'm going to see if I can change the date in it or something.
Yeah, you're from New Zealand. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
That's what always works.
Yeah, change the region.
I don't like that at all. That's not cool.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying that they just this isn't cool because I don't know. It's
not.
Supposed to be.
It's not cool for a week. Who cares? It'll be fine.
Well, because the argument I always hear is when the end of the world comes, I'm going to have my Switch, Michelle,
I don't
and your
disagree.
PC won't work.
I'm going to be playing Dreamcast
on well, you're
beach.
Not. Exactly.
Yeah, I just wonder if they're going to ever. I mean, they could. This was always in their terms of service where they could brick it if you modded it or whatever. But if you're stupid enough to mod the system and then go online, that's on you. But I don't like the fact that they can turn your system off.
Yeah, Badger says their plan is to turn it off before Switch 3 comes out. You're right. It's like Apple making your battery die after 5 years, on a timer. Yeah. And it's just they want you to have to upgrade because too many people are holding on to this Switch 1. So they're like, let's not make that mistake again with Switch 2 because we want to force people.
Well, Microsoft's killing the 360 in July. They're killing the store.
You can still turn it on and play it. The store is different than the games you own, right?
I mean, I actually, isn't it amazing that the store is still there? It still runs.
It's severely gimped, but it's still there.
It's slow as shit, by the way. Did you like that blade interface and all that? Did that hold up at all?
I like the original Blade look. That was kind of cool, but I don't know. I like that it would change from time to time. That's kind of neat.
Because when I pulled my 360 out to play Guitar Hero and Tony Hawk, I was shocked that I had games that I could install from my Xbox Live Gold, whatever. They give those games out every month or whatever. Yep. It blew my mind, actually. I'm like, what? This is still a thing? I can get free games even today, a year ago?
Yep.
That's kind of a record, isn't it?
360 a lot.
Me too. Yeah, that's the only console that's plugged in my living room. Because the Tony Hawk games are still great.
It's still plugged into mine too. My daughter is even to this day will still play Dance Central and a lot of their friends.
Yeah, I love Dance Central with Kinect. I liked Guitar Hero. 360 was still my favorite kind of newer console.
Well, it was such a big deal because that ushered in the HD age, right?
Yep. Yeah, that was the first one that was truly high def. Mm-hmm. You got a little bit with Xbox with the original and
but PS2 the original Xbox, when we started this podcast, I had a CRT.
Yeah, but I had a 4K TV.
You didn't have a 4K.
Giant
you didn't have a 4K TV.
Backlit projector.
There's no 4K.
1080p.
Those were awful.
All right, let me talk about this quickly. Another good Game Pass game, in my opinion. Sega tweeted, "Enter the grim darkness of the far future. Warhammer 40k Space Marine 1 Mastercrafted Edition releases June 10th on PC, coming to Game Pass and Xbox." So this is a redone version because of the huge success of Space Marine 2. And they're giving out huge bonuses to the whole team because the game is still selling really well. And I guess they decided to go back and remaster the first one. Coming to Game Pass. I'm going to try this. I've never played the first one, but I like the second one. So the Game Pass, how long can Phil continue this? Both of you, I want to ask, because you're kind of anti-Phil, Kevin. You call him third place Phil. How long, John, do you think he can continue to keep bringing things that people want to play to Game Pass? Or do you think they've blown their load here? Because what's coming? You don't think they're...
I think it's endless. And I'm guessing that developers are lining up to be part of this.
It's such great exposure for them.
Well, after Claire Obscure
Sorry
and
about
the recent run, not even the Oblivion remake, but just having like Game of the Year, let's be real, on Game Pass.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe more people are paying attention.
Blueprints and there's a lot of non-Microsoft games that we're talking about that are on Game Pass, and they're
Jarvis
great
says developers are
fucking
lining
games.
up to go out of business. I don't think you go out of business. I think it's good
I
exposure.
don't think so. We don't know what the deal is too. Like
Yeah,
they might
give them money.
Microsoft might be saying, "Hey, we just gained 20% new subscribers because of your game."
So we give you a bonus based on the subscribers that go up each month. We give you money to launch the game.
Exactly.
Right. I think it could be a good deal for some of the indie developers too. You get some guaranteed money. It's less risk. And I think, like John said, I think they can go on for a long time. They own so many IPs. I wish they would do more. I wish they would make more games.
Well, at
They're
least
they're
starting to tap into that. We see this like with the retro classic thing they just came out with. I mean, they're not ignoring all their old shit. They're not.
No, you got Gears of War coming back out. They're rebooting it.
Yeah.
And I like the idea of taking stuff like Oblivion, old games, and putting a fresh coat of paint on them. That's kind of that's kind of what I've done for years with NFL 2K5, which is like 20 something years old.
You're a modder, right?
We mod it, put new textures in the game.
Taylor
and it's still,
Swift.
But the game, the engine underneath is so good that it's nice just putting a fresh coat of paint on some of these old games.
Well, that's the thing about Tony Hawk. Like the old Tony Hawk games are so playable even today. Like they're so buttery smooth, 60 frames per second. It's just fucking perfect, right? Like, just give it a new coat of paint. I was going to say something. I lost my train of thought.
How about Frank? Frank checked. Did he text back?
No.
Oh my God. He didn't even give you a. This
is a hardcore blow off, honestly.
This is ghosting, okay? Which means
he's in his VR world and he.
Well, who knows?
Oh,
maybe something happened. I don't know. Like
he retweeted us today. He was active. He was there. Wellness check, Frank.
Well, I hope Frank's okay.
It's been.
Something would have to be catastrophic to blow off VGO.
Well, hopefully that didn't happen. But
no, I'm sure it didn't. People just forget, or they're like they fell asleep. People take naps,
Where's Frank out of? It might be.
I don't know where Frank is.
I don't know.
Well, we could at least bring up his game. Axiom Studios. Where does that? I don't know where that's at.
Orion something?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the new game, Orion Drift. He passed out in VR chat, yeah. I mean, that's probably what it is.
Well, they did that Gorilla game, that VR game that was kind of like a viral thing.
It was the most popular VR game for a while, I saw.
It was. It was a big deal. It was a topic on the show.
Do you still use your VR, Michelle?
No, I was only playing Beat Saber and I completely stopped because it's annoying. You got to put your contacts in. You got to... make sure it's charged. And I am really lazy when it comes to that stuff, but I should do more stuff with it, honestly.
I'm over it.
I'm kind of like, I was never that
like it was. Honestly, I had more fun with VR when it was on PlayStation. Like, I feel like the Rift never really delivered for me. And maybe because it was a new experience on PlayStation with Astrobot and all that. Like, I have more like, oh my God, VR memories from that than this. I think Flight Simulator is the app or game that blew me the most away on VR, and I would revisit that. But I'm not.
I think
I'm not
VR's
doing it though.
Got its place, but it gets kind of
okay. So like when I think about playing Flight Simulator all the time, I always think about it. How come you're not playing more of that, John, with these flyable vehicles, right?
Yeah, you should be.
But then I think about, okay, I have to pull my HOTAS out, a fucking flight stick and a throttle. I got to pull the VR shit out because if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do the VR because it's way better.
Yeah, you got to go all the way.
So, okay, now what am I doing? Like, what is happening down here with all this shit, right?
It's you got to commit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's not fun. It's not.
It's a pain sometimes to get everything out and, set it all up. And I do like the Meta Quest, though, because it's wireless and, you just grabbed your controllers and you look like an idiot for a while. I like to do it when nobody's home so I don't look like a complete
surprise
moron.
Tickling.
Well, that is a fear still to this day.
I just
it's a real fear.
There could be worse surprises. There's a guy. I don't know.
Surprise
something worse happens and somebody tickles you. Well, I mean, that's not a surprise for you. You know when Matt McCarthy comes over that he's going into your gates and your battering ram. Or whatever we said for the King Arthur game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so news, I don't really have much else. Honestly, I thought we were going to be talking to Frank, so I kind of didn't prepare that much. What do you guys want to talk about?
Any news, Kevin, on your side of the world?
Yeah, what's happening?
Not really. Just waiting for the Switch 2, and getting ready for a convention this week, and right here in my hometown. It's called Colossal Con. So if anybody's going to see a huge one, it's one of the biggest. It's anime, so it's crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's an anime convention. But
So are you having
your
Pikachu ears on?
No, not me. I'm probably the most normal square guy there. But the anime people really spend money. So
do they?
I like it. Yeah.
So what are you going to sell?
More at an anime convention. Just anime related stuff. We got all kinds of stuff. Our 3D prints.
Unlicensed 3D printed stuff?
Sure.
Now, is it like full on anime shit, or is it like you'll sell Final Fantasy stuff too? Like, are you anime adjacent, or do you just it's full on anime?
Yeah, I mean, I do a lot of. I usually handle the video game stuff, and the guy that I do it with, he handles a lot of the anime stuff. So, but anime and video games are kind of like peanut butter and jelly. They go hand in hand.
Yeah, people love anime. They probably game. There's just kind of like a
Yeah, there's a lot of crossover. So even when it's video game convention, there's a lot of anime people there. But when it's anime convention, there's still a decent amount of
What's
video
the
game people
hottest
there.
anime right now? I'm trying to think of I have a friend who likes anime and he's always mentioning, I don't know I forget. Do you know?
I'm the wrong person to ask.
Okay.
Yeah, on
I was
that.
just like,
I'm
what are
sure
you
I'll know
3D
after
printing right now?
after tomorrow, though. Well,
Yeah,
that's I'll know tomorrow. And this one's really, I love this convention because it's such a people watching convention. Because it's also this place is a giant. There's all swimming pools and everything, so everybody's like in bikinis and
You going to Kalahari?
Yeah, Kalahari. So
That's
Solo
where it is.
leveling. Yes, that was the one I heard about. Thank you, Mr. Light.
Yes. So it's
leveling.
the people watching's on another level at this convention. So
It's a
great.
water park place.
Right. And this time of year too is my favorite time of the year because it's also bike week here. So you go out to eat and you'll have hardcore bikers on one side and a bunch of anime characters on the other side. And if you think about it, they're all
Do they commingle?
They do. Everybody gets along. It's fantastic, but it's so bizarre and cool to be
See that,
in this area in this week.
And some Harley dudes hooking up with a Naruto girl? Is that kind of?
I don't think there's any hooking up, but but they're just out
They're
and
all
about.
getting
You'll go to
along.
Walmart.
I don't know who you are, honey, but I like it.
Oh yeah.
It's just funny. I think it's great.
Well, you can get out of my Harley, lady.
Well, there are Japanese Western bars. Somebody was talking about it. I looked up some pictures, so it's kind of a thing. Maybe they're into that whole man in leather
What do
thing.
you say?
Hey, whatever floats your boat. There is some
You go get
craziness
some-
though that goes on this week.
We'll check it out and go say hi to
honey.
Kevin. If you're into anime, or you want to see some bikers.
What do you say, little lady?
Is that what bikers
Yeah.
sound like? I don't.
That's what bikers sound like.
I
What
haven't
do
hung
you
around a lot of
say,
bikers.
little
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay, you
maybe
be
he's
an
right.
anime girl. Hey, what do you say, little lady?
I don't know what anime girls sound like, but usually they're like VTubers, right? And they always sound like they're like little girls, but they're really
Hey,
like
little
400
lady, get out of
pounds.
my Harley.
Oh my god!
I don't know. I'm the wrong person to. Maybe Kevin could do a better anime girl.
Oh my god! Oh, they sound like little babies.
They don't say Pikachu anymore. I think that's old school.
Pika. Yeah.
Pikachu. How Ready at
Why
Dawn
is it-
Studios designed echo chamber for. Oh, that was a VR story. I'm not going to read that because Frank's not here. Frank, wellness check. Anything from John? Has
All
he
right,
tweeted?
If you guys are just
Do a
joining
Frank
us,
check.
PSVR Frank was supposed to be here.
Yeah.
I sent him a message at 10:03
Yep.
p.m.
He
saying
retweeted us.
coming
Yeah.
question
Right.
mark.
With a C. Very important.
No reply.
Yep.
Yeah, I think his wife got a hold of that and was like, "Who the hell is talking to you about coming, honey?"
Yeah.
And
Yep.
yeah,
John scared him off.
you
definitely.
scared him off. Atlantis Studio comes out of stealth. Interesting headline, VentureBeat, to make immersive Unreal 5 games. They are based in the south of France. Oh, they're trying to do a little Claire Obscura stuff. So these guys formerly worked at where? Oh, Ready at Dawn Studios, former president. And now they said that the AA game is here. And more people breaking off from bigger studios to make smaller studios to make games that are hopefully better than the bigger studios games.
I read an article about a guy that was like, journalist was mad that this was happening, that all these people are breaking off and doing it on their own. I mean, how dare they?
Yeah.
How dare
Why
they
be mad
not
at
have
that? We get good
400
games.
person team?
They have more freedom to make the game they want to make.
I think it's because
They're
the
paid.
journalist has less
Yeah.
less access to all that
Yeah.
stuff. So
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's great. I think it's great for games. We don't need giant 400 people teams.
No.
Look at Expedition 33, how well that turned out. I think more people need to take that leap and make a small game that they've always wanted to make.
Yeah,
You never
hopefully they
know
will,
till you try.
because I think once this game wins Game of the Year at the end of the year or whatever, it's going to even.
You think it's
I
a
mean,
lock?
it's already a movie. I feel like it is. I mean, I know it won't be for maybe all of our picks, but I feel like it's definitely going to get it and maybe deserves it. But what else is coming that could this year? Like, what else is standing out for people?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I don't know.
I just wonder, because it's an RPG and there's just even though it's sold like crazy amounts, those usually are more niche than some of the other big titles. So
I mean, it
you never
is
know.
impressive that this sort of JRPG, which is what it really is at its heart, did this well and sold this well. It's finally hit mainstream, because normally it was something people laughed at with, oh, that's like Persona, or Metaphor did well, but I mean, at the heart of it is some Final Fantasy-ness. They said they wanted to make a French Final Fantasy. So yeah, I think it's impressive that it did hit mainstream, and I think it's going to change the industry overall.
I think it's for the good, though. It'll change it for the good.
Yep, for the
I
good.
think the industry needs
shake-up.
to downsize a little bit. Yeah, a little shake up.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I agree. Now, Kevin and Michelle.
Sure.
So Supermassive Games is making a Blade Runner game called Time to Live. And there was a document they leaked talking about the game and the release window, and they said it was planned for September 2027 on the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PC, and the Gen 10 Xbox and PlayStation systems. Is September 27th too soon for the next generation?
Yeah. I don't.
You think so?
Really? I don't think so. Hasn't it been like?
Oh
by then,
no,
won't
for
it be?
you said 27. No,
Yes.
No, that's fine.
So after next year, right? So basically,
yeah, no, that's fine.
That
I would
seems
hope it would
right,
come
right? Like,
sooner.
And this article on Gaming Bible says it's too soon for that, for next gen. No, we're not, right? No way.
No,
That sounds right to me, right?
it's already been how many years for the Xbox?
They need
Series
an
and
upgrade.
PS5?
Yeah.
I mean,
especially the
COVID,
original.
listen, COVID really fucked the PS5. It just delayed everything, didn't it? Like,
Yeah, there was chip shortages and all that. It just kind of it was like it just never really launched the way.
no,
both
it
those
didn't.
systems,
And the
way
games
they
were all
should've.
like pushed back and delayed because people couldn't work on them. There wasn't good content. Like,
A lot of the
everybody
games
was
that
at
were
home.
made at home and they actually had decent results. It was like one of the more popular WoW patches at the time that was all done work from home. So I think it also changed, right, the way work was done. People saw that you could work from home and you could get just as much done. But now we're in a big reverse on that in tech right now, where everybody wants back to the office and they're demanding back to the office. And if you don't come in, they let you go. But yeah, I think just overall, just to wrap it all up before we get out of here, because it looks like Frank's a no-show, that gaming has never been better. And I'm hearing from people that gaming sucks. I'm like, what world are you guys living in? Every week I am playing a new game I'm fucking excited about that I love, including this week.
it's never ending, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. So
I see both arguments. I see
Right.
a good and bad. There's certain things that do suck in video games.
But if you
especially-
just have
Sure,
a
but there's more
PlayStation, if
of
you just have a
everything, so you pick what
PlayStation
you
5, that would be your
There-
outlook, because nothing, you're just stuck there. Nothing's coming
Yeah.
every week.
right,
like there is more, but like certain like genres like sports. I know everybody says there's sports games every year, but there's less. There's no competition anymore. You get like one
Yeah.
football
Right.
game.
It's
or you
Madden
get,
and
like,
Show. Madden
one-
and Show,
But
FIFA.
overall,
Yeah,
gaming
yeah.
has never been better.
Yeah.
Maybe you're right, John. I am sort of biased as a PC gamer. I have access to everything,
Yeah.
but I've been gaming. Obviously, we both have since we were kids, and I feel like it's never been better. And
There's never any
there's never been as
shortage.
many fun things to play and try. And
Yeah.
No,
Every week we
there's
have
more
something we're
games.
excited about. Like
Yeah.
every single week
Every
on
week.
the show.
Yeah.
I like
for
that there's
real.
surprises that you
Yes.
get
Me
the
too.
surprise hit,
And it's
out of
almost
it.
always
That's
on
nice.
Steam. So
Of course. That's it.
Yeah,
Well,
Except I would say Helldivers last year was a big surprise for a while.
It was.
yeah, and that was it's still doing well on Steam, by the way.
And that was
like
also
their
on
concurrent
Steam day
player
one.
is insane. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's people are still playing that game. So it's interesting to see that they kind of because it looked like it was going to die off for a bit, and now it's kind of back with a vengeance that people are still playing Helldivers. And also
Yeah,
Star Wars
Helldivers is
Battlefront was doing well.
Helldivers is number
Yeah,
6.
that was neat.
Yeah.
Little research.
Battlefront
I sold
2
quite a
holds
few
up.
of those last week.
Yeah.
A lot of people came in and bought it just so they could do that. To be a
Yeah,
part
there
of
was like
that.
a
That
little
was kind of
event
neat.
thing.
Wait, are you talking about the Destiny thing? What?
No, Battlefront 2. Star Wars Battlefront 2, like
Yeah,
there was like a move online for people to play it, and a bunch of people like hopped on and started playing, and we're like, wow,
Yeah,
this
oh,
holds
I
up.
didn't-
It still
way
looks
up.
so good.
I know.
Yeah, it does.
Like it's been downhill there.
Well,
you
that's
know,
when
'cause
DICE was good.
yeah, I mean that's where we have kind of gone downhill. Is like a lot of the talent has left the industry, and you know the way they're working with the engines and things like that. But overall, though, I still think if you're bitter as a gamer, the problem is with you right now because there's just so much good shit out there. Like enough
Yeah.
for everybody. Even if it's not your thing, you can find something that's your thing.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a lot to play.
Is there
Well-
like some Destiny Star Wars beta that we should be in right now? I heard talk about this. I know that game comes out later this year.
Not,
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Star Wars Renegades.
Oh yeah. I remember the guy on the art. Yeah.
when's
No,
it coming out?
it's got Renegades DLC and Destiny.
Oh, okay.
They're mashing Star Wars into Destiny, and I guess some people are playing it right now, like in a beta or something.
Okay. I mean,
Are
it's
there
a
any
cool
other games
world.
you're looking forward to? Like, is there any big ones you can think of? The only
Well, we got
one
Night
I'm
Rain
really
coming
thinking
up
of-
Thursday, which is going to be big, whether or not,
Yeah.
I want the full release of Path of Exile too, but we'll see what happens with that and when that happens. I'm just trying to think of the rest of the year.
John, are you looking forward to Donkey Kong? Or
I am.
Of course.
Well, that's that.
Yeah,
I am
that
too.
is the-
That game looks fun
looks-
though. That looks like an action platformer. Like, and I loved and Donkey Kong 64. I don't think a lot of people really did. That was a great rare platformer to me. I don't think it's going to be like that. I think it looks more like a destructible environment game, right?
Yeah, I think it looks fun, but we'll see. I'm looking forward to it.
And that comes
But other-
early. That's
Yeah, that's July 17th.
yeah.
So yeah. And Tony Hawk 3 and 4 comes out July 11th, so you should be in heaven that week.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get out of here. Frank, he stood us up, and it's okay.
Sorry,
It
Frank.
happens to everybody. This is my first time being stood up, John. How do you cope?
Oh.
Yeah, I blame John. All right, no, but anyway, we'll be back next week. We've got a fun show with Rye and Night Rain, and if you want to win a copy from CD Keys, you can head to our Discord on videogameoutsiders.com, and you can also support us in there for weekly bonus shows, the back catalog, and something else. Oh, ad-free VGO, because ads are annoying, even though we try to only put 1 or 2 in. And I think that's it. Thank you for joining us, Kevin. If you want to talk to Kevin, he's got a show on our app. He's also in our Discord, spouting off many opinions. I like that about Kevin. He's always got a good take,
I
whether or
have
not you
zero
agree with
opinions.
it. You've got a lot of, they're just facts. That's right. So if you want to argue with him, he's down there at videogameoutsiders.com. And I
That's
think
good,
that
Kevin.
is it.
Yeah.
Hope Frank's fine.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. And Frank, I don't know what happened, pal.
We tried, Frank. He was the
he's
you
okay.
incoming. It was the you incoming that got him.
I hope you're
Yep,
okay.
You scared him.
We'll see you very soon. Video game outside.